of the United States, Donald Trump, I want to know this question. What are your plans to help for 2022? We talked about the House and the states. Are you thinking about running again in 2024? And if so, where are you in that process?
We are going to help with the House. I think we have a really good chance. I'm working with everybody, including Kevin McCarthy, on taking back the House. I think we have a really good chance in doing it. Likewise, the Senate's going to be a little bit tougher, but the Senate. So I told you that at least 8 senators would have lost their race. I could name them, but I don't want to embarrass them. But that includes Mitch, who was heading south. He called me up. He said, I need your help. And I'm very popular in Kentucky. I love Kentucky, and they love me. And I helped him, and he won by the most he's ever won by. So we are going to help with the Senate, and I think we have a good chance.
You got Marco Rubio. I hear Herschel's name mentioned a lot in Georgia. I hear Laura Trump's name mentioned a lot in North Carolina. Sununu in New Hampshire. I think he could win that race. Ron Johnson in Wisconsin.
Ron Johnson's a great.
He's been a great senator.
He is a great. He is much more popular than anybody understands.
We don't know who's going to run in Ohio. But these are
we have some good candidates in Ohio.
So
I think we have a real chance at the Senate. I think we have a really, really good chance.
So tell me, how far are you willing to go?
No,
are you going to travel? Are you going to do speeches? Sure. Are you going to do rallies for these candidates?
If they need a rally, we'll do a rally. We'll do calls. We'll do all sorts of things. No, we're all in. Alabama is going to be a tremendous win with Mo Brooks. We have a tremendous look. Almost everybody I endorse wins. We had a House seat in Louisiana, a wonderful woman, it just happened. Her husband died of COVID. He was Congressman-elect. And she is, Julia, she was fantastic. But a lot of people thought she might not get in the runoff. I endorsed her. She got 65% of the vote. There was no runoff. It's very important that we get the right people. And that means in the Senate, it means in the House, and it also means in governorships, because if you have a good governor
and legislature, state legislature,
well, that's so important. The legislatures have.
That's where they're going to fix the voting issues.
We've had a lot of great legislators. Unfortunately, the courts refuse to listen, even though it's in the Constitution that they have to. The courts have been very, very.
HR 1, I argue, usurps the constitutional authority of state legislatures. Now the big question: two parts. What do you miss the most about being in the White House, and how seriously are you considering running again in 2024?
I miss the most helping people, because I can directly help people. That's why I did it. Look, this has been a very traumatic. I had a great life, great company, great business, no problems. And now all I do is people go after you. It's vicious. It's horrible. But you know what? I love doing it because I help people. And I've helped them more than any president with the cutting of taxes, with the regulations, with right to try.
We're proud
you know
of
how big right to try is?
Huge.
Where you don't have to travel to all sorts of different continents to try and get something. We have the greatest doctors and the greatest labs. We can use their medicines now. If somebody's terminally ill, they can sign a quick little document. You can use and that's had a huge thing.
What are you most proud of, though?
A lot of things. I'm very proud of the tax cuts. I hope they don't screw it up, because the jobs, we brought back a record. I think so. We brought back a record. Well, it's still not going to be as high as it was. It was really 39%.
Right.
So it looks like it could be at 25%. I brought it down to 21. But I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of and very importantly, the regulation cuts. I'm very proud of what I did for the military. I've rebuilt the military, and I've added something called Space Force. It's going to be so powerful, so important. So I've added another, think of it, I've added to the military. It hasn't happened since, I guess, 75 years, since the Air Force.
And the economy pre-COVID,
Space Force.
Record low unemployment.
We had the greatest numbers in the history of the world. We had the greatest economy in history, world. We had the greatest economy. We had the greatest job numbers. We're up to 160 million people. We were never even close to that. And if you think of it, I did it twice, because then the whole world went down. We've come back stronger than any other country in the world. They used to hit me with Germany and France and this and that. Well, they're doing terribly right now. They're all locked down. It's a disaster. They're having riots on their streets. This country is coming back strong. And it's very interesting. Places like Florida and Texas and many others, I could name many others. I think in almost all cases run by Republicans. I think in all cases, but they've done so well. And you look, I saw the other day Michigan. I would say there's been nothing as close, other than for her husband, who was, had free run of the place. I don't think that there's been any state more locked up than Michigan.
Are you running again in 2024? What are the odds? If I were to
First
ask,
of all, it's a long time. The odds. What are the odds? Look,
the odds.
I
what are
got
the odds?
tremendous
Yeah.
numbers. Nobody's ever gotten the numbers I got. No sitting presidents come even close. There's more popularity now than there was the day before the election because they see how bad things are at the border. They see what's going on. They see that their guns are going to be gone. Their Second Amendment, their taxes are going up. Regulations are going through the roof. Jobs are going to go out. Well, you see, this is going to take a little while to show. But if they add all these regulations back, the jobs are going to be gone. Your energy independence is going to be gone. So I say this. I am looking at it very seriously. Beyond seriously. From a legal standpoint, I don't want to really talk about it yet. It's a little too
If
soon.
you did run and did win, what would you do differently?
When I came in, we were hit with phony Russia investigations. It was a total phony deal.
That was 3 years of your
No,
presidency.
I've been fighting off investigations for 5 years. I mean, really, since almost the day that we came down, and they were corrupt, Democrat-inspired. I still have it. They were Democrat-inspired investigations. Russia. I remember, Sean, and I don't have too much time, I guess, with you, but a story I think it's interesting. I haven't told it before. During the campaign in 2016, I'd be asked, like by one of our aides, "Sir, do you have anything to do with Russia?" I said, no, that would be it. Then a month later, somebody would say, "What do you know about Russia?" I said, "No, what? I don't know what you're talking about." Okay, I wouldn't think of it. Then after 3 or 4 or 5 times, people would say, "Do you know anything about Russia?" I kept saying, "Huh." So after 3 or 4 times, I said, "What's going on with Russia?" They created a phony deal. It was paid for by crooked Hillary
They
Clinton.
made a phony Russian disinformation dossier.
Destroyed.
And they used it to spy on you as a candidate,
Correct.
your transition team, and while you were president.